Let's talk to Ryan Littlestone. He's a trader and analyst at ForexFlow.live. Very good morning to you, young Ryan.
Very good morning, Nick.
Right, two thought-provoking slides. Let's kick off with the headline, Kim and Trump unrated. So this is a big week for, well, the globe, the planet, I guess.
Yeah, very big week. You know, we've brushed aside the G7 mess over the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, nothing really came out of that except more spats and arguments. I thought it might have been a little bit positive this morning on Juncker saying that he's happy to head over to the US and talk about the tariff deals and try and get something sorted. But that passed by, and then obviously Trump having a little spat with Trudeau saying he was weak and dishonest, and just descended into another mess. But yeah, the markets quickly switched its attention to this Kim-Trump meeting tomorrow and see if we're going to get some good news from that. And that has helped risk trades this morning, and we're going to see if that continues.
Understood. Well, let's talk about the markets. You've sent a euro US dollar chart, a daily. We've said some sort of rally over the last week or so. Where does it go from here?
That's the question. And this week is a big week for the euro, big week for the dollar. I'm tending not to look at dollar yen at the moment because it hasn't really done much recently, and it hasn't done much over Fed meetings either. But because we've got the Fed and ECB in close proximity, we could have some wild moves here, because if the Fed is pretty hawkish, if they hike as expected, but if they remain hawkish on their path for rates for the rest of the year, that could see a dip in the euro. And what traders are looking at into the ECB is what further information we're going to get from Draghi about the end of QE and the possibility of rates going up. The problem we've got with the ECB is that they've been reluctant to come out and say anything recently, keep kicking that can. We've got a situation where we've got two meetings in quick succession. So we've got a meeting this week, and then we've got a meeting towards the end of July. So it's just a question whether the ECB are going to give us something this one or punt it to July, just so they get that extra month of data on board and see what that can bring. So it's potential for the euro that we could see a dip in euro dollar, obviously if the Fed hikes and they're pretty hawkish, and the euro could fall further if we don't get anything from the ECB. But conversely, we could get a flip-flop trade where the Fed sees the euro dollar down, but we do get something from the ECB, and that's going to send it back up again. So at the moment, the way it's laying, I think dip buying in euro dollar is the way to go. I'm still long a small part from below 116. Happy to hold that. And if we get down to those levels, then you've got to think about a long down there into the ECB, but keep it very tight in case they disappoint.
That sounds even more difficult than normal, in the sense that, you know, you assume that you've got a cunning plan, and occasionally, you know, the Japanese would say it's time to buy, time to sell, and time to do nothing. And if there was ever a case of a bit of that, I think you've just said it.
And exactly. And also, we've got the Bank of Japan meeting right in the middle, but that's got very low expectation. So the market's pretty much brushing that off. But like you say, it's a busy week. We've got these central bank meetings, and as we just discussed before the show, we've got the World Cup starting, and that's always a big focus for traders as well, because what we're seeing, what we're going to get is some of these games during the working day, and traders tend to take their eye for trading screens and stick them on the football screen. So we're going to probably see pockets of inactivity in markets and where nothing's happening, and when those games are on.
Right, on that cheerful note, Ryan, last call, England for the World Cup?
Never.
We'll talk
wishful thinking, my friend.
Well, I know it is wishful thinking. Right, we'll talk to you same time next week. That's Ryan Littlestone. Thank you.
Cheers.